Hello and welcome back to Mr.C's ICT. In this video I'm going to talk to you about Kodu Game Lab. It's a program that I've really enjoyed using recently in the classroom, and I'm really excited to talk about it for those that might not be aware of it. So what is Kodu? Kodu is a free program for Windows PCs and Xbox that allows teachers and students to create their own video games. No knowledge of coding or programming is required, and the program is very visual, and the language is simple and not technical, making it accessible for many people to use. So it can be downloaded from a range of places, including the website. So if you look up Kodu, you'll come to this page, and then you can click the Get Kodu button. Alternatively, if you are running Windows 10, you can find it also in the Windows Store and install it that way. Having used both, I haven't really noticed much of a difference between the two versions. So what can Kodu be used for? It can be used to make simple or complicated games. Your imagination is your limit. It doesn't matter how big or small it is, anything is possible. And the website also suggests that it could be used as a tool for storytelling. Personally, I haven't used it that way, but thinking about it, it makes a lot of sense. You could create a story in a 3D world and then have your kids export it as a video and do some narration if they've got some good video editing skills. That's something I'm going to look into personally, but it's not something I would use with the age group that I teach currently. What do I like about Kodu? First thing, it's really exciting. When I told my kids that they were going to be making their own video games, they were really excited. Their eyes lit up and they were calling out all these ideas that they wanted to make in their own games, which was great to see. Also, it's very encouraging for all kids to have a go, regardless of their creativity levels. Because a lot of the assets, that means all the characters, textures, maps and things like that I've provided, the kids don't actually have to be able to draw themselves, and that's a great tool for all kids, regardless if they think they can draw or be creative or not. Also, I found the kids were able to pick up the program very quickly with some simple step-by-step instructions. Each game is unique, even when given the same type of game to produce. To help make it easier, the interface assists a lot with that. So the menus are very simple and very visual. There's not too many options unless you go looking for them. But most simple games can be created with a very small amount of knowledge required. Even the programming is quite simple, where it's all based around pictures and simple, straightforward language. For example, it comes in the classic, when something happens, it causes an effect. And as you can see here, if we wanted to program something to move, we think, well, what do we use it to move? We use a keyboard on a computer, and then you have to pick some arrow keys, and then you're going to tell it what to do, which is in the actions, or if it's moved, it's straightforward. And then when you play, it does it. It also encourages creativity, critical thinking, and problem solving. You'll have varying success with these attributes depending on the age of your children and their patience. Some students will want instant results and not want to problem solve or to troubleshoot their own problems, but that's a skill that all kids will work on over time. The last thing I really like about Kodu is it gets kids using a computer, as in a keyboard and a mouse. Being young, a lot of my children have grown up on tablets and are used to a touch interface, and some are quite confused by using a keyboard and particularly a mouse. Also, it provides some skills to use Windows as an operating system, so finding things in the start menu and then clicking on them rather than just where an iPad they click an icon or looking up on Google for a game. Particularly left and right clicks puzzled a few of my students to get different effects in the game, so it's good computer handling skills outside of the tablet environment most are grown up with. And these are skills that I value, though I might be a bit old-fashioned, but I do prefer the keyboard and mouse setup for more accuracy in what I'm doing. Though that said, I'm not a stranger to touch input, having a Surface Pro and an iPad for personal use at home. So what have I used Kodu for with my own kids? Last term I used Kodu to create maze type games loosely based off Pac-Man. The main objective was having a character find an object at the end of a maze while overcoming obstacles. Many of my other ideas have revolved around recreating older or retro video games that I've played myself as a kid, such as Skyroads and Frogger. Browsing the internet, I've seen other people recreating racing games similar to Mario Kart, and as I said before, imagination is the only limit to what you can make with Kodu. There's two purposes for these tutorials. One, to bring yourself up to speed if you haven't used Kodu before, to get a basic idea of how to do it so you can obviously teach your own children how to use it. But also, if your school doesn't block YouTube, I've used them as a great resource for the kids to go back and watch when they get stuck, rather than hearing your name a million times when they get stuck. If they can go back and have a point of reference, I found many of my students have benefited having access to video tutorials to call back on rather than putting their hand up or calling my name out multiple times. So that's my overview of Kodu. I'm really looking forward to sharing how to use it with other teachers out there, because I do feel like it's a lot of fun, even as an adult, and hopefully you can get the same enjoyment out of it yourself as well as with your students in your classroom. So the next video I'll go over the basic tools, and then we'll go into a step-by-step guide of how you might teach Kodu with a class of kids. So until next time, keep creating, and I'll catch you in the next video.